Let's do Clues by Sam for today. We have a medium difficulty, and if you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it's a puzzle game where you have 20 people. Some of them are criminals, some of them are innocent, and you gotta figure out who's who. And each of those people may give you a clue, and you gotta do no guessing, just follow the clues that they give you. Let's get started for today. We have Nicole telling us that Chad is one of 8 innocents on the edges. The edges are, of course, the edge of the board, including the corners, and we know that there's 8 innocents. And here, Chad is one of them. Now, Chad's telling us that all innocents in column C are connected. That tells us that at least Isaac is an innocent in order for Nicole and Chad to be connected. Now, Isaac is telling us that both innocents in row 5 here are Scott's neighbors. So we have 2 innocents in row 5 and both of them are Scott's neighbors. So we know that Vicky is a criminal. Now, Vicky is telling us that Zach has exactly 2 innocent neighbors. Zach's here and they have 3 neighbors in total. 2 of them have to be innocent. So, one thing that we know is that all innocents in column C are connected. So, if Zena is an innocent, Scott has to be an innocent, right? And we know that Zach has 2 innocent neighbors. Scott, we know about Scott because Isaac told us that both innocents in row 5 are Scott's neighbors. So we may have Will and Zach as innocents. Or Zena. Let's think about this. We have 2 innocents in row 5. Among Will, Zena, and Zach. Zach has 2 innocent neighbors. Among the 3 that they have. About the innocents on the edges, we have 1 only already. Now both innocents in row 5 are Scott's neighbors. And Zach has 2 innocent neighbors. Scott has to be an innocent. Because it's either Zena and Scott or Terry and Scott. In order for Zach to have 2 innocent neighbors, right? Because if Terry is an innocent, then Zena cannot be an innocent. Or else Scott would have to be an innocent too, and then Zach would have 3 innocent neighbors. So Scott has to be an innocent. Now, Scott is telling us that only one of the 3 criminals in column A is Paula's neighbor. Column A is here, and there's 3 criminals. Only one of them is Paula's neighbor. So Vicky is the only criminal in column A that's Paula's neighbor. So we know that Karen is an innocent. And Paula herself could still be a criminal, so we don't know if Frank and Alex are both criminals. Because of this clue. Now Karen's telling us that Vicky's only criminal neighbor is Will's neighbor. Where's Vicky? Here. And Vicky has 3 neighbors, and the only criminal neighbor of hers is also Will's neighbor. So we know that Will is an innocent because among these two there has to be a criminal. And it's the only criminal neighbor that Vicky has. So Will is an innocent. Now, Will is telling us that both innocents above Vicky are connected. So we know that Alex is one of the criminals in column A. And we have one more to figure out among these two. Now, Alex is telling us that there's an odd number of criminals in between Evie and me. So Chad is already an innocent. The only criminal there can be is Barb. We don't need this clue anymore. Now Barb's telling us that Paula and Rob share an odd number of innocent neighbors. Paula is here. Where's Rob? Rob is here, and they share an odd number of innocent neighbors. Well, the neighbors they share are Karen, Martin, Will, and Vicky. So in order for that number to be odd, Martin has to be an innocent too. And I don't need this clue anymore. Now Martin is telling us that Alex and Frank have only one innocent neighbor in common. So well, the only neighbor in common that they have that hasn't been figured out yet is Helen. So it's an innocent, right? Alan is an innocent. We don't need this clue anymore. Now Alan is telling us that Evie has more innocent neighbors than Zach. And we know that Zach has... Someone talked about Zach some time ago. Zach has exactly 2 innocent neighbors. So for Evie to have more innocent neighbors than Zach, they have to have 3 innocent neighbors. So Julie is an innocent too, and we don't need this clue anymore. Now Julie is telling us that no Mac has a criminal directly above them. All the Macs. Evie doesn't have anyone above her. Now Scott has an innocent above them. No Mac is a criminal directly above them. Terry is another Mac, so we know that this is an innocent and there are no mechanics anymore, right? Okay, and we don't need this clue anymore. Now Olivia is telling us that Paula and Zach have an equal number of criminal neighbors. Paula here and Zach has 1 criminal neighbor. Paula has 1 criminal neighbor here, so Rob has to be an innocent. I don't need this clue anymore. Now Rob's telling us that he didn't do it. Okay. I never read the flavor texts, but you guys can let me know if you want me to read them. I just skip right over. So we don't have new clues. Let's go back to what we had before. Oh, let's count the innocents on the edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to have 3 more. 6 is among these two. So 7 is gonna be among these two. Oh, we also have Zach. Zach and Evie. Either Zach or Evie have to be an innocent. And the other a criminal. Vicky's only criminal neighbor is Will's neighbor. Oh, so Paula is a criminal. And Frank is an innocent. Now Frank's telling us that row 1 has more criminals than any other row. we know that row 1 has 2 criminals so far, and no other rows have more or equal than to that. But we can think about this. If both Zach and Zena are criminals, that can't be, because there would be more criminals in row 5 than row 1. So one of these two is an innocent and the other is a criminal. I don't need this clue anymore. Or this. Only one of the 3 criminals in column A is Paula's neighbor. No need this clue anymore. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so Zach has exactly 2 innocent neighbors. So one of these 2 is gonna be an innocent. And we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, but either way, there will be a row that has 2 criminals. So row 1 has to have Evie be a criminal in order for it to have more criminals than any other row. And now Zach has to be an innocent. And what's telling us the difference between these two? Both innocents in row 5 are Scott's neighbors. Oh, so there's only 2 innocents in row 5. Zena has to be a criminal and Terry has to be an innocent. We are done. That was nice. A medium one in less than 13 minutes. Cool. And all green today. We paid attention. That was good. Well, that is it for today. Thank you for watching, if you have come so far, and I hope to see you tomorrow with the next one.